let's be real. Man, I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of looking in my family eyes, seen that's a joke, dog. I'm tired of all my problems, not be humble when I boast. And if I'm being real.
Yo, welcome back to Couch Therapy with God. I am so happy to have you guys back with us, and I am so happy to have my girl here, Tink. I'm so happy to have you.
Girl, you pulled me outside. I be staying in the house because it costs $100 just to go outside. It's expensive.
It is expensive out here. These streets is expensive.
Yeah, a little ghetto, but you know.
You know what I love though? Me and you were friends before we knew each other. Like, we was friends on social media and didn't know each other at all.
At all.
Never saw you in person. I did an event. You came. You
that was the poster. The poster board. Vision board. It was a vision board.
Yes.
Because you had it at some location.
Yes, and you came and you supported, and I think ever since we've been like rocking and rolling.
Pretty much. We've
been out to eat, and I didn't even have your phone number. I just got your phone number, and we've been friends for years. I'm not sure how that happened.
I blame you.
Of course. And we planned to, hang out multiple times. Yeah. We've been out to eat once.
The good thing is we did it. So it's not that it wasn't going to happen or it didn't happen.
But I think that shows the volume of our friendship. Yeah, that we don't have to like talk on the phone. Mm-hmm. We don't have to, do all the fluff stuff.
Yeah.
But when it counts, you there.
Yeah, exactly.
You there.
But that's what friendship is supposed to be. I mean, I tell my friends, the little 2 or 3 that I have, is I'm not a high maintenance friend. Like, I don't need to talk to you every single day.
Right.
Or every week. But when I need you,
you expect them to be there.
Yeah, I expect them to be there. And the same goes for me. Like,
right.
If you need me, I'm going to be there regardless.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to be.
It is, and I think the older we get, the more we learn the balance of friendship. You know what I mean? It's not, it don't have to be a whole big gang of them. It doesn't have to be where we talk every day or go out to eat every day or hang, but you start to count the blessings of them showing up when needed. Yeah. So I appreciate you, friend.
Of course, I appreciate you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. So I heard you can sing.
In the shower.
That's what she told us before.
In the shower.
Oh, I think you told me you want to give us a selection.
Because I cannot
mass
sing.
Choir or
I cannot
whatever you vibing to right now.
I can't sing.
No. Huh? No. 2-step.
I can 2-step.
You want to give us a 2-step?
I don't want to give a 2-step.
Not a 2-step.
But I can't sing. I only sing in the shower. And it sounds very good in the shower. I put on a full-blown concert.
Full-blown concert.
In the shower.
So next time record it, like just the audio. We don't need to see everything else, just the audio.
Gotcha.
And then we'll play it.
I got you. Then I bless. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, bless us.
Now I can be somebody's hype man on the praise team. Like I can be the praise team hype man, but I can't sing.
You can't sing. Okay. So are we a sneaker girl or heels?
Funny. For the longest time, I was not a sneaker girl.
Okay.
And I want to say up until COVID, I was maybe sneakers here and there, but mostly it was pumps, it was heels.
Right.
But COVID happened, and then my kids bought me my first pair of J's, and I have been stuck ever since. Now I got a closet. Well, I got like 2 or 3 closets. But that's not the point. I have a closet full of sneakers, and I have maybe 15, 20 pairs of pumps, but everything else is sneakers.
You know what? I actually hate wearing heels. It would be very, you won't see me in heels. If you do, you'll see me walk in with them.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah, no, you don't see me. I hate them. I feel like the older I get, my feet double its age too, and I'd be like, this hurt. I don't feel like going through pain to look cute.
My heels have a 3 to 4 hour maximum depending on the event. If I'm on my feet, you got about 2.5 hours.
Right.
But yeah, if I can wear some sneakers,
you comfortable.
I'm
like
good.
To be comfortable.
I am great in addressing some J's. I've done it.
Yeah.
Several times. even the church.
Did you play basketball when you?
I did. I played basketball in high school.
So that's why you were such a
sports fanatic.
Yeah.
That, and I am the only girl out of 5.
Are you?
And I'm the baby.
So what's the age difference between
me and my youngest brother? It's like a 12 or 13 year age difference. I was an oops.
You was the baby.
I was the baby. Yeah, I was the oops. My mama was like, I'm not having no more kids, and then boom, here I am. Yep.
And you came with vengeance. Like they knew you was here. No? Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Still.
Are you and your brothers close?
Oh yes, very close. Yeah. Yeah, very, very close. We talk daily, multiple times a day. We have like 3 different group chats.
3 different ones?
Yes.
So you got some people out of them?
Yes.
Okay, I understand.
Because when we be talking about the other sibling,
they not in there. Yeah. That's how me and my mama is about my brother. We leave him out. You got to see the group chat when it's me and my mama and my brother talking about Keith. We ain't gonna tell him what we be saying, but that one right there, that's the one. Child, it get juicy in there.
I believe it, girl.
Okay, so today we are talking about health, and I think, like, I knew a little bit of your testimony, but I don't think it was until we went out to eat and you dived in a little bit more that I realized the extent of everything that you've been through.
Ooh, child.
And what I've realized is, I think that I believe I have faith, right? But there are certain areas that I have not been tested in to know if I really got faith. You know what I mean?
Right.
Faith in regards to I need a bill paid is totally different from God, I need you to heal my body.
Right.
And so when I heard your story, it made me really self-reflect in regards to, do you really know what faith is? Because I feel like mine has been minute compared to what you've had to endure and actually lean on God to show up for you. I got some tissue.
Oh, no. I'm good. Favor, they always say favor ain't fair.
That's true.
Having faith, like you said, having faith to get a bill paid versus am I going to live is different, but at the same time it isn't.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, God is going to do what he going to do.
Right.
Regardless. What I had to make peace with was whatever he did, I was going to be healed regardless, whether I was going to be healed on this side of heaven or on the other side. Everybody can't accept that. And after my second round with breast cancer was when I got to that point. The first time, I didn't have a look of faith.
Sis, we're gonna have to go back.
I didn't have a look of faith.
We're gonna have to go back.
We can.
Okay. So
I didn't have no faith.
It happened. Okay, the first time. How old? Paint the picture. Where were we at?
So I was married to my first husband, and the father of my kids. I was 28 years old, living in Chicago. Marriage was in shambles. Okay. And I was already being treated for uterine fibroids and endometriosis. So I was seeing my my GYN frequently every 3 to 4 months. Right. And so the first 2 visits, you know, she would do a breast exam and say, she told me, your breasts are lumpy, but you know, you're top heavy and you're young, so it's probably nothing. Right. Come back in a couple of months, same thing. So finally towards the end of 2009, I went back and she was like, your breasts are really lumpy. And she said, they feel lumpier than they did before. She said, so we're gonna do a mammogram and see what we got. She said, it's probably nothing, because they kept stressing my age. How did you feel on the inside? I trusted her. Okay. I was like, oh, okay, if you don't think it's nothing, it ain't nothing. Because what do I know? I didn't go to medical school. Right. So we did the mammogram, and then she brought me back and said, we need to do a breast ultrasound because the mammogram wasn't conclusive. Okay. So we did the breast ultrasound, and she said, well, there's something there, but we don't know what it is. And I said, okay, what is something? Like, is this? She said, it's a mass, but we don't know what it is. And they kept stressing, it's probably not cancer, because again, you're only 28. Right. So we do the biopsy and get those results, and it's stage 3 breast cancer. And I'm looking at her like, lady, you told me
it was nothing.
It was nothing.
Yeah.
But now you're telling me it's stage 3 breast cancer, and now you're also telling me we need to start treatment now. And I'm like, excuse me?
Right.
What is treatment? Like, what? It was so much thrown at me all at once.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, husband is wherever. He ain't there.
Right.
So I got 3 small kids. My kids at the time was, Trinity was about 7 or 8. Ashara was like 6, and Bree was 3. So I'm like, what am I gonna do with 3 small kids? I gotta get back and forth to the doctor with treatment. So I finally told their father.
Is your family in Chicago at this time? Like your mom and stuff? Okay.
They're in North Carolina.
Okay.
I told him, he kind of brushed it off, but I don't think he took me seriously because of the state of our relationship at that time.
Right.
So when I get to my follow-up appointment, I met with an oncologist who was amazing, by the way. And they finally told me, they was like, we got to start treatment like now.
Right.
So 2 days later, I was admitted into the hospital. My kids were with their grandmother, which is their father's mother. And they start the treatments. My body rejects the treatment, and like literally rejected. Like I had an allergic reaction.
Okay, so at this time, what is Tink feeling?
Tink is feeling frantic.
Okay.
And like, what is going on?
Out of control. Yeah.
And how did we get here? Like, you telling me that you can fix this, and what you're giving me isn't fixing this.
Yeah.
Mind you, I hadn't prayed, I hadn't talked to God, I hadn't did any of the sorts because I'm focused on the disease and my kids.
Did you grow up in a Christian household?
I did.
So you knew what prayer?
Well, I knew what it was.
Yeah.
It's just I was so separated from it because I was focusing on my marriage at the time.
Gotcha.
Because again, my marriage was in shambles.
Gotcha.
I was fearful of divorce.
Yeah.
So it was so much in my head. Like how I got through, I now know it was God, but at that time, I don't know.
Yeah.
But when I started the treatment, my body rejected it. I'm in ICU, and I remember bits and pieces. I would hear my mom when my mom came. I heard my mom praying. Then I heard her one time yelling, "I'm not burying my baby. My baby is gonna bury me." Like she going off on doctors, so in and out. But I had this out of body experience. I don't know if it was a dream, but I heard God say to me, everybody here has given up on you. Nobody thinks you're gonna live. Who do you believe? And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like confused.
Yeah.
So I see my mom, I hear my mom, and then I hear God saying, do you believe me? So are you gonna let me do this? Are you gonna let me fix it?
Yeah.
And at that time I said, okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I say to anyone, and I just will say that and move further, but when people, you know how a lot of people in the church are like, you gotta preach the gospel, you gotta try to pull people in the church. I get that. But there's not anything that anybody can say to me that will tell me that God isn't real and he doesn't exist, because I know from what I experienced. I can't tell anybody. People will say to me, girl, you crazy, that didn't happen. Hey, that's true. If you want to believe that, fine. But at that time, at the age of 28, in January of 2010, I was told that I would die within months. I would be 43 in 2 months.
That is a blessing.
So nobody, that's nothing anybody can say to me. You could tell me that God went out here and murdered 50 people. I'd be like, okay, but guess what he didn't do?
Right.
He let me die.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe no other 50 did something wrong.
Yeah.
But what he did for me, I know, I can only attest to that.
Yeah. So. And like, listen, and I hope I don't cry, because why are you on this couch doing this to me? But
I mean, you asked.
When I hear about like your story and hearing like God say, like,
stop it, because I ain't supposed to cry. It was that at that moment in my life, I was at my lowest and at my worst, because I actually, even though I said I would trust God, I still didn't have the same faith. I didn't have the faith that I do now. I really didn't think I was gonna live. I'm updating my will, and my mama telling me, why are you telling me this?
Yeah.
Because she said, you ain't gonna need this right now.
Yeah.
She said, not for me. You gotta do that with your kids. But you ain't gonna need that for me because I'm not she was adamant that I wasn't going to die.
Yeah.
And I was like, but Mom, look how bad this is. Like, I was like, I done lost weight. I'm walking around going to, then my divorce was happening, I'm going to court with an oxygen tank. And I'm like, Mom, I might not, this might take me out. Like, let's prepare. She was like, I'm not prepared. She refused to accept it. And I love, like, my mama is the GOAT.
Yeah.
She refused to accept it.
Yeah.
But me, I was like, well, the doctor said they don't know. So.
Yeah. And I think about, like, even people who haven't been through that, but like, I can contest to God saying to me, like, everybody here has counted you out.
Yep.
You're not going to amount to nothing. You're not going to do anything. But yet,
here you are, doing it.
Yeah.
And doing it well. And you look good doing it too, girl.
I can't believe you got me here crying. But, like, his love is just, like, so endless.
It's amazing. And sometimes it's breathtaking.
Yes.
It was breathtaking.
Yes.
Because I've had friends that were close to me. Like, actually today, a year ago, one of my close friends passed away from breast cancer, and I watched her take her last breath. And I'm sitting here like, I don't know why you decided to keep me.
Yeah.
But like, what I had was supposed to kill me. That's what it was supposed to do.
Right.
But he said no. So I ain't gonna question him. I was like, whatever you do, just you do you.
Right. So we go through. No, okay. Keep.
So that was the first. Okay. So that was round one. So I went through. I had to do 3 cycles of chemo and radiation, which was ghetto. And girl, listen. Like, chemo was bad. Radiation was worse. It took me 2 years to enjoy fried chicken again, and I love fried chicken.
Oh, wow.
Because everything tastes like metal. So I get through that, my cancer goes into remission, and the good thing is I didn't have to have surgery. Because most people, when they have it, the first thing they do is surgery.
Right.
But I had a team of oncologists that said surgery isn't the first choice. Right. Because whether a lot of people know it or not, when they cut you, the cancer immediately spreads when they cut you. So we get through that. I moved back, get divorced final, moved back to North Carolina. Then I'm in Greensboro.
So the divorce still finalizes through throughout this process.
Yes. It's the divorce wasn't finalized. We were going back and forth, and the reason why we had to go back and forth was because of the kids, because we had kids.
Yeah.
And the state of Illinois you're not going to finalize the divorce without child support and custody of where the kids are. So we got through that. I moved to back to North Carolina, get a job in Greensboro, and I want to say around 2013, 2014, cancer returned.
So what was how many years was that?
From 2010. Okay. It was like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So it returned. This time though, it was called early.
Okay.
So it was like stage 2. I did a round of chemo radiation, went back into remission, and then last year in April, it came back again. And it wasn't bad, caught early. Yeah. We was at stage, they labeled it stage 1 because of the size of the mass, because of the size of the mass. So I did did 2 cycles of chemo, did not have to do any radiation, just had to do a very small dosage of chemo. The problem with that though, I had to take it in the form of a pill, so I was taking it daily. Okay. And it was taxing. Yeah. Like, there are days that I wanted to do stuff, and I would attempt to get up to do it. Yeah. And then I couldn't. Yeah. So then from exhaustion? Yes. Yeah. Like completely tired. I mean, couldn't always eat, couldn't hold stuff down. It wasn't as bad as the first round. Right. So, but it was very taxing, and I think it was a lot harder because I was older. Okay. So your body. Yeah. And my body had already been through so much. So every time after the first time, every time you would hear, it's back. Yeah. So the second time I was a little shaky.
Yeah.
But this last time, I wasn't worried at all.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is again. Okay, we got to do this again. I got it. And my oncologist, she looked at me and was like, why are you smiling? I said, because I know regardless of what happens, I'm going to be good.
Right.
Whether that, again, because some people they struggle, and this could be for any illness. Either God is going to heal you on this side of heaven or on the other side. Yeah. Either way, I'm going to be at peace. I'm going to be fine. So that's what I had to make peace with. Yeah. And I honestly didn't get to that level of peace until about 4 years ago.
I remember when I had a scare, like I had a lymph node that was swollen, and I went to the doctor, and they was like, oh, and the first thing they said was, it could be cancer. You need to go see someone. And so my mind immediately goes to, I'm gonna die.
Yes, you panic. You panic. Yeah.
True panic of, I'm gonna die.
Rightfully so.
And honestly, I wasn't okay with that. And that was hard for me because that was my struggle with God. God, if this is what you trying to do, like if you're saying this is it, I'm not like, and so it makes you look back over your life like, have I done everything that you have asked me to? Like, it makes you put life into true perspective of, is this it? Is this it?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It does. It'll give you hearing a potentially fatal diagnosis can definitely give you a fear of, well, what am I gonna, what's gonna happen to my kids? Because the only thing I'm struggling to make peace with is, how will my kids be? Yeah. Now this is when I might cry. Are my kids going to be okay? Yeah. If I'm not here? That I am trying to figure that part out. Right. Because my parents are at the age now that their parents were when they passed. Okay. So I've been nervous. Like, my mom will have a health scare and say, oh, I had to go to the ER. I'm like, why? Right. You know, so I wonder, how am I going to be if something happens? And then I think if at their young age, because my youngest is 18, and my older two act like they can't function if I don't answer a text. Right. That's probably who was calling. They'll check my location. They can't see where I'm at, but that's my fear. Like, will they be okay? Yeah. So yes, God has told me they're going to be okay. Right. And I believe him. Right. But then at the same time, I'm like, but God. So that flesh come into play and be like, I don't understand this, God. Like, now what you doing? Like what you mean they're going to be fine without me? No, they not. Trinity, her darn tire make a noise. Mom, my car falling apart. Or if she sneezes, I think I got tuberculosis. I'm about to die. Like, my kids will, like, they call me for, as grown as they are, they call me for everything. So that's my fear. Yeah. I mean, my middle one says, if something happened, like when I got that scare last year, my middle one was like, if something happens to you, they just gonna have to bury me with you because I'm going. I'm like, no, you're not. Yeah. You're not about to disturb my peace. Right. No. Leave me alone. You don't stress me out your whole life. You're not about to come with me to glory. You're going, no. Yeah. So that's her, like, that's their struggle. That's my struggle to where that I have to work on, like, are they going to be okay? Yeah. And it's just them. Like, I know it'll be, you know, losing a loved one is painful, it's hard. Right. But it's a reality. Like, that's one thing you promise in this life. Yeah. It's death. Yeah. I think my struggle is my kids, but you know what I struggle with is when I come to you guys, you gonna be like, depart from me. I don't know you. Go back. Like, this ain't your home, sis. That would kill me. Like, I love you. You know, I say all the time, and I joke around. I'll be like, I know God be sick of me. Yeah, he be sick of me. I know he be sick of me. Like, what do you want now? Like, right. Look, I done fixed that. I told you what to do with it. You hard headed. You don't listen. You coming to me about the same thing. Yeah. So I'm not worried about that. Right. I feel like he gonna be like, girl, just go over there and sit down. Now, will he put me out after a while? He might
put you out.
He might put me out because I'm gonna ask him to turn that water into wine. I'm gonna want to see that. I'm gonna want to see the water
that you want him to bring.
I might need a glass of wine. I might need a glass of wine. So.
I just hope he give me a fountain of Dr. Pepper, like in my mansion. I need, like he said, I think he gonna build my mansion how I want my mansion. And I want a Dr. Pepper fountain, and I want my wall, like money wall.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it.
Yeah. I'll be asking God, and I don't know if you like this, God, you know, thank you for my mansion in heaven. But I'm gonna need that mansion here too, because yeah, I'm your child.
I agree.
You are my father, and I ain't no bastard. So what's yours is mine, boo boo. Come on.
What is we doing? Because I feel like you did not die on the cross for me not to be rich. I
feel like, you did not.
I feel like, you know, I prayed this morning and asked him to make me a billionaire by 9 a.m. tomorrow so I ain't have to go to work, but he looked at me like I was crazy.
Well, we still got time, sis.
Girl, he denied the call already all night. He was like, you would be at work tomorrow at 9 a.m. But I pray every day. Like I promise I do right. I pay my tithes. Listen, look, tithes is, I pay my tithes, and people look at me crazy. And when I say I make sure I pay my tithes, because I feel like if I don't, my finances is gonna be a mess.
Have you ever not paid your tithes?
I did.
And you know what it feel like, right?
And my lights about got cut off.
Yeah. When we didn't pay our tithes, we was poor.
Oh yeah.
But we were still poor when I started paying, and then we became
yeah. Same.
So he over there looking. But I'm saying, like, and the enemy tries to make it feel like that you can't pay your tithes because you don't got it.
That's right. That's right.
But when you actually step out there like, all right, it didn't hit, I'm going to take this 10%. And we going. And sometimes, when I first started off, it wasn't even my 10%. It was, God, I don't got 10, but I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you what I got.
Yeah.
And he was stretching until I got comfortable with paying that 10. And now I'm just like, keep it, we don't pay, we're going to be poor.
We're going to get put out. They're going to put us on the street.
So
they're going to put us on the street.
Yeah. It's been, so let's go back. Let's get back. Friend, we got to get back on track.
All right, girl.
Okay. So now that you go through the process and you hear, now you feel like that your faith has now been established.
Yes.
Like that it doesn't make you work. Are you able to go back and talk to women who are?
Recently, over the last, I want to say 2 to 3 years, I've gone to different breast cancer events to speak.
Yeah.
And I did one in October for childhood friend. She's a Delta, and I did it, and it was about 7 or 8 survivors up there, and we all spoke and shared our story. And when I shared mine, when I say the whole building was in tears, they was like, oh my God. And I'm like, y'all had it just as bad as I did. Why aren't y'all crying for you? Because I'm over here boo-hooing for y'all.
Yeah.
And it was one lady that was, she was like 85 and did not look a day over 50.
Oh, awesome.
And she shared her story, and when I ugly cried, like ruined my makeup. I had to work so hard on my makeup, and it was done for. I had to go put it back on to take pictures afterwards.
Yeah.
But now I'm more comfortable
with sharing
it. Like it doesn't, I used to be one that I didn't want to, because I don't like a lot of attention or like pity. It's more so pity.
Okay, I got you.
I don't want to feel like, I don't want anybody to pity me. But, and I'm a suffer in silence type person. Like when I was, this last year when it came, I didn't want to tell nobody.
How do your friends navigate that? Like, your support?
My best friend, my 2 closest friends, Stephanie, she lives in Baltimore, and then my best friend here, Jill. I told her, like, I can tell Jill anything, and she'd be like, okay, how you want to do it?
Right.
My best friend, she is okay with me suffering in silence, but she was like, we need to get the prayer warriors going. So she's going to want to eventually tell somebody.
Right.
Antonio was the same way.
Okay.
But I was okay with not telling anybody.
Yeah.
And I usually wait. I was like, I can just wait until after. Like, I'm going to give you the praise report.
Right.
I'm going to tell you what I went through.
Right.
But then then you're going to see where I am now. So I'm a suffer in silence person. When I got that diagnosis, and then Antonio told like he told I didn't even get to tell nobody. He did it.
Okay.
And I kind of resented him for that because that's something I would have wanted to do when I wanted to do it.
Right.
I get why he did it.
Right.
But I wanted to do it on my terms.
Yeah.
And tell it, when I was ready to tell it.
Had he already been through it with you, or this was the first time?
No, this was the first time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it might have been, I need support. I don't know how to navigate this. I don't know what this looks like. Y'all been through this with her?
Very much
Help
so.
me process.
Very much so. Now my dad, my dad knows that she's not going. If something's wrong, he knows. She ain't gonna tell me until she's ready.
You're right.
But my dad is the same way.
Okay.
So I struggle with that. I mean, like it was so bad. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. And I only had like a few people that can bypass it, and it is still set.
It's still set? It's still like that, sis?
Listen, I love my peace. I don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
Throughout the day, I'll have it on. I Do Not Disturb on.
Yeah. Sis, I am glad you came on this couch. Even though you made me cry, I don't even know how Caleb about to edit that, but he gonna get that out of here. So
we're gonna see her cry. Let the saints. You want me to cry with you?
Yeah, cry.
There you go.
It has been a pleasure, like you being on here and just hearing your story. And even though some people might not have gone through a health scare before, but to know that the way that God sees us is always good.
Yes.
Like his viewpoint of us is always so good. And if we can just kind of tap into how he views us, even if it doesn't align with our personal will
or what we want,
we know that his way is.
That's a struggle. And it's sometimes still a struggle for me because I like to control. I have horrible OCD. If I ain't in control, I panic. Or if something ain't going a certain way, I tend to panic. I think that's a big thing that a lot of us deal with. Right. Because we can't control the situation. We got to allow someone else to control it and do what they say they were going to do.
Right.
So I'm getting better. Certain situations, I be like, all right, God, you know what? I'm going to leave this to you. Have
you allowed people to take control and they didn't, so that made you feel like I got to take control because y'all didn't handle it like I need you to? Yeah. Yeah. It's a defense mechanism. Yeah. And sometimes I do it beforehand. Like, I just nope, I got it. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Yeah. I think that's a lot of times women in general. We can be like that if it's not done fast enough. I try to allow keep the opportunity to do stuff, but if he don't move fast enough, then I just be like, forget it. Yeah, I got it. I mean, I get it. I be the same way. It's hard, but like I said, certain stuff that I know I am not gonna do. Like I'm not gonna cut my grass. Yeah, no, I won't get out there and try to show you up on that. However, I might hire somebody to be out there. That part, I'd be like, hey, you got 24 to 48 hours to get this grass cut. If not, I'm gonna call Peanut and them, and they're gonna come on and cut it. Or not Peanut, Julio. He gonna come and cut it for $20. I told Keith and the boys that they need to start helping me clean up a little bit more, or they gonna pay for my maid. It's $180, so y'all split that however you want to split that. And he heard he over there looking. Yeah, I tell people in my household to help me clean up, and then they attempt to do it, and then I go back and do it over. They didn't do it right, so I be like, you know what? You try. Just clean your space. Just clean your spaces. Yeah. Leave my spaces alone. Yeah. Because if it ain't done in a certain way, I'm gonna be like, you know what? Yeah. Don't worry about it. I got it. So since we gonna work on relinquishing control, we leaning on God and letting the people around us do what they gonna do. They are telling us to wrap it up, sis. Okay. So they sick of us. They sick of us already. It's because you started crying. I know that ugly cry. Why you do that to me? You guys, thank y'all for tuning in today. Like always, please like, subscribe, share. See you later. Bye.
Let's be real. Man, I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of looking in my family eyes, and that's a joke, dog. I'm tired of all my problems, not be humble when I boast, and if I'm being real.